Hi everybody, this is Pamela. Well, this is going to be my week 7 and week 8 update. I was remiss and did not get a chance to do my update last week. So, week 6, I was at 313. Last week, which was week 7, I had lost 3 pounds and I was down to 310. And this week, which was Monday, I did weigh in on the right day, I was down 6 pounds. So I am now at 304 from a high of 362, so I've lost 58 pounds. I'm pretty psyched about that, and I'm hoping that within the next week or two I will be in Tudorville. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. So what I would like to talk about today is I finally went to my surgeon's support group last January 9th. They usually have it the first Monday of the month, but since the first Monday this month was actually January 1st, they decided to have it the following week. So it was January 9th. Anyway, so I went. It starts at 6 o'clock. And I went in. I saw my surgeon and the other surgeon that are in the practice, and a whole bunch of people, sort of with chairs and a screen in front. And what it actually was, from 6 till almost 7, was a presentation basically for newbies. All about the different types of surgeries, weight loss surgeries that they perform, and the advantages and disadvantages and all that sort of thing. It was an information session. And then the second part, which they take a little break, and then there's another part, and each month is a different topic that the surgeon talks about or a guest speaker talks about. And this past week was about the duodenal switch. So I already had my surgery, and it wasn't the duodenal switch, so I wasn't interested in that, so I left after the first part. And when I got home, I thought, that wasn't really what I was expecting the support group to be all about. I really thought it would be more like people being able to talk to each other and compare experiences and ask questions and things like that. So when I was going home, I was thinking, unless there's something in the presentation part that is really going to interest me, I probably won't go back again. But then, after thinking about it for a couple of days, I thought, actually there were a couple of things that I picked up on that I had not picked up on before. As much research as I have done, and as many people experiences I have shared on YouTube, and so maybe I will go back. It is a chance at least to ask any questions I may have. And I did actually, someone had asked about hair loss when they were on the section for the, I had the RNY gastric bypass, just in case anybody didn't know that. And someone had asked about hair loss, what could be done to help prevent some of that. Now, I already knew protein was important, and I also knew that biotin may or may not work, so I've been trying to get in my protein, and also I take a biotin supplement. But the surgeon said that zinc was also very important. So I did go and buy a bottle of zinc, and I include that in with my supplementation every day. So we'll see if that works or not. Also, they did talk a little bit about the bowel obstructions, and there was like a little run of a few weeks or a month where it seemed like quite a few people were having problems with bowel obstructions. Now, I figured that, maybe the best thing was just to make sure I take plenty of fiber and keep everything moving. But although that is important, that's not really what causes most of the bowel obstructions in people who have had weight loss surgery. It turns out that, and maybe many of you have heard this already, but inside your abdomen is actually quite a bit, when you're overweight, quite a bit of fat develops up in your abdomen. and it kind of pushes your organs around, and everything's got to squeeze in there and make room. And oftentimes your bowels, your intestines and your bowel are being held up in certain spots by that fat. So as you're losing weight and as you're losing massive weight in your abdomen, the fat that's in there is disappearing, and it's no longer there to hold up the bowel, and will often fall or move or twist in a certain way because it no longer has the same support. And that's often what causes the bowel obstruction. Now, I didn't know that, and I thought that was very interesting. And they also talked about, different symptoms to watch out and all that stuff. So I guess in retrospect, it was valuable experience for me to go. Whether I would go to that information session every week, or every month rather, I don't know, because I think it'll probably be the same slideshow every month. But like I said, the second part, which is a presentation on a different topic, some of those might interest me. So I may go back. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I actually had my first episode of vomiting. A lot of people talk about how they, ever since surgery, they throw up a lot. And I was thinking, I don't know, I haven't thrown up once. I have not had a problem since surgery. And I think what caused it is not from eating the wrong foods per se. Like, I think I've got it down pretty well for my meals, what I need to eat, how much I should eat, and when I feel hungry. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I've never thrown up, because I do try to recognize when I'm full and I stop before I get that far. But twice I've had problems when I have eaten snack foods. Now, one time I was eating veggie chips, and I didn't think that I ate that many, and it was not dumping. I was just overly full. And the second time was this past weekend, and I had roasted garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and they get very dry and crunchy, and I added salt and pepper and garlic. They were very good. And I was just sort of like eating them, throwing one in my mouth after the other, chewing it up. And before I recognized it, I was too full, and that's what made me throw up. So what was the lesson I learned? All those kind of mindless snacky things, the chips and the nuts and I need to stay away from those. Or I need to portion out a very small amount and eat that, and pay attention to what I'm eating and how I'm feeling. And I think that I'll be better off. But I don't ever want that to happen again, because that was really weird. I've never experienced that weird kind of after surgery throwing up, and probably most of you know what I'm talking about, and it's not pleasant. The last thing I would like to talk about is the East Coast meet and greet. It is going to be held in Atlantic City at the Tun Tavern, and it is going to be August 18th. I'm going to put a link down at the bottom, and you can go there and find out more information. But I hope that any of you who are in the area would come out and join us at the meet and greet. We had a great time last year, and hope to get some new faces there this year. So see you next week. Bye-bye.